So hey guys, we've got a bit of a treat for you today. We've got Nicola Elwood down. She's a sports performance coach and mindset coach, and we bumped into each other a couple of months back at actually one of my brother's seminars. So she's here today. So tell us a little bit about your background and what you've done. Basically, this is for Nicola's research today, so
this
basically
is my fun.
a little guinea pig here, which I don't mind. I think it'd be quite interesting for you guys to see how I tick, because all these great people go out and do these amazing things in life, but what makes them tick? What makes them strive to be the best? So, thanks to you.
I am a master coach, so I did my master's in coaching. Well, I've always been good at chatting to people and being interested in people, and it helped me unpick why I was good at that and why I could kind of get under the skin with people sometimes. And so it helped me kind of codify how I did what I did and then maximise that for my clients' outcomes, really.
Yeah.
Through that, I found something called neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP as it's well known in my industry, and that is about excellence in thinking and communication. It's the structure of kind of what works. So when you are thriving, almost like how you do that in here. And in your state, in your physiology, and how you show up, what it is that you do, how you do what you do. So you did a survey?
Yes, you sent me a survey and I did it. Yeah.
How long did it take you to do the survey?
About 15-20 minutes.
Did it? Oh, that's quite good. So the shortest I've had is 3 minutes. The longest I've had is about 2 hours.
Wow. Okay. People overthink things.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. So there are many tools out there that explain kind of your strengths, your emotions, your style, your preference, your way of working. This one goes a little bit deeper, and it unveils something which are called your unconscious motivators. Yeah. There are 9 different unconscious motivators, and you have 2. Okay, so I have 2, and you have 2, and ours are very different. So, have a little. Here is your report. So have a little overview.
So this is the stuff I answered.
This is the stuff you answered.
So to be strong and self-reliant, and you've got 8 major.
Yeah. And
then the second one is to succeed and achieve, and that's a 3 minor.
Yeah. So those 2 unconscious motivators apparently drive you. So when you read those 2 unconscious motivators, does that make any sense to you at all?
Of course it does. Yeah, strong and self-reliant. Yeah, that's been me from a very young age.
Is it?
Yeah, looking after yourself and everything, and to be strong. I've always been. From age 5, I've always been strong physically, and I think been very strong mentally as well. Always been a leader. Yeah. Always been that strong in that aspect, and then to succeed and achieve. I remember, and I see it in my little boy now, I thrive off acknowledgement. Yeah. It's a weird thing, and I always have done since I was a kid. So if I do something good and someone's like, "Oh, good boy, Eddie," I'd be like, and that went into my adulthood for sure. I thrive off achievement.
So where people see that you are achieving, you get that fills you up.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. When these things are in place, you can just be the very best version of yourself. So can you have this is what they call your anticipated best self.
Okay.
Have a good critical read of that.
Okay, so I've just had a quick read through of the 8 major, 3 minor, what would you call this?
This is your print.
So 8-3, so bear in mind I've got 8 major, 3 minor. That's the result. So this is what it's going to sort of talk about. So at their best, 8 threes are people of great personal power and passion who know how to get things accomplished. They know exactly what they want, and they have the confidence and drive to go after it without hesitation. 8 threes believe that the strong and capable will survive, and for them, competence, courageousness, and relentless determination are the ultimate survival tools. The productive, determined, and tenacious ways of the 8 threes pretty much guarantee a faster and more efficient response and outcome. Few people have more of a can-do mentality than 8 threes. So basically, this is basically saying there's not very many people out there that have the drive, passion, and determination to get it done than what I do. Okay, so next paragraph. Taking control is as natural to 8 threes as breathing. They seem to just flow into positions of authority, officially designated or not, and are extremely effective and comfortable in these roles, usually calm under pressure and not afraid to take risks or make tough decisions. 8-3s feed off the stress energy that can cause others who are less sure of themselves to back down. And few can keep up with an 8-3's energy or pace. More than often, they have tons of things going on at the same time. As classic movers and shakers, 8-3s are an extremely active and self-motivated bunch. So I can relate to that. I'm very outgoing, very energetic. I always take that alpha role. Whoever I'm with, I always take control of the situation. And yeah, lots of things going on, and that's damn right. TV shows, movies, businesses, YouTube. It's fingers in all pies, and I'm making them all work. So that's, again, spot on. Next one. 8-3s are known to be charismatic and enthusiastic. Come on. Able to motivate, inspire others to achieve at a high level, both personally and professionally. Possess extremely good instincts to navigate through most situations, as they rely on their optimism and resourcefulness to obtain successful results. They also speak in a refreshing, direct, honest and straightforward manner. Assertiveness is yet another of their signature traits, and again, that's spot on. Charismatic, enthusiastic. I'm always trying to sort of motivate others, and we speak in a refreshing, direct, honest and straightforward manner. I don't think there's anyone that does that more than me. I don't beat about the bush. If I think someone's a dickhead, I'll say they're a dickhead. Right, next one. Independent and self-sufficient, 8-3s handle pressure with a coolness that is worthy of great praise. They also enjoy competition and they want to win. I mean, that's true in itself. From my swimming days, when I was a national champion swimmer when I was a kid, that thrive to win was there. Strongman, the thrive to win's there. And the pressure with coolness. I mean, when you're training for the world's strongest man, I don't think that that week leading into that, and even the journey flying out to that destination, that's where a lot of people lose their head. And they won't sleep, they won't eat, they won't drink, and that's where I like this says, you feel that coolness. You're like, I can take this pressure, take it in your stride. So again, very relatable. Thinking on the feet, meet life challenges head on. Yeah. Right. Extraordinarily protective of the people they care about or are responsible for. If someone in an 8-3's inner circle has been wronged or mistreated, you can be sure that an 8-3 will stand up for them. That they simply possess so much strength that they are willing to lend it out to help keep things fair and above board for everybody else. And again, that's very me. If I'm, work colleague, friend, family, if I think someone's being spoken to in an ill manner or mistreated, then I'll step in and I'll make sure, I'll use my presence to rectify that.
Yeah. So
I mean, everything's absolutely spot on there. Everything that said, and I mean every single word. There's nothing in there that I'd be like, no. Every single word's I can relate with, for sure. Yeah.
When you think about your, let's go to the succeed and achieve. Where does that come from?
Succeed and achieve. I think for me, and the last bit as well. Care about people they're responsible for in a circle. And again, I think that's from having two older brothers. And I've always been very open about that. The reason why I am so competitive and I've always had to succeed, even in school, even at school, school grades. Yeah. It's because as I was growing up, my brothers are coming from school, Alex got an A in his GCSEs and James has done this, and it would make me feel left out. Yes. Yeah. So that inner me's like, I've got to overachieve now to sort of outdo my brothers. And I know that sounds like a petty thing to say, but I think that's what made me become the competitive monster I am today. And that little me and my brothers, I mean, if you've read my book, we've been in a lot of trouble when we were kids, and we've been locked up a few times, and I was expelled from school, and been in some very sketchy predicaments. And again, it's that inner circle. I would literally die for my brothers, and I'm sure they do the same for me. So I think it's something that's just been taught to me in both of those aspects from having two older brothers.
Yeah.
That's what I put it down to, and I think I've said that before. It's like my competitiveness comes from Alex and James always beating my ass, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
And tell me more about the strength, the strong and reliant, the strong and self-reliance. Where do you said a little bit about that? Is there anything more to tell us about in terms of
strong and reliant?
Strong and self-reliant.
I mean, again, it's the older brothers. It's them going off, and I'll never forget my brother going to Australia when I was a kid, and I thought, wow, he was going to Australia at like 10, 12 years old or whatever. And it's just put that blueprint in me. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to be that self-reliant person to go and travel the world and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I suppose just being strong as being the youngest sibling, you've got to be.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, you're just going to get pushed over. They're going to take your games. They're going to take your food.
People with the 8, they don't need other people.
Yeah.
They know their mind. They make people feel safe. They're strong in terms of they're instinctive. They just do it. They don't need to question it. They don't need to sense check, or they just take action.
Yeah.
And that makes 8s can be quite natural leaders in that way, because they just step forward. They just do it. They don't wait for permission. 3s work at pace. They are fast, they're driven, they know what they're moving towards, and they're going to get it, and they'll go, hey people, come on, of course we can achieve it. They're massively positively framed, and they love it when they get that sense of recognition for achieving the things that they achieve. So, do you want to flip over and have another critical read of this one? So this is the potential shadow.
Okay, so potential shadow. Explain to me what potential shadow is.
So the potential shadow is when your unconscious motivators are not satisfied.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's a version of you that can show up if you're not conscious or mindful.
So
of
the little voice in the back of your head.
Potentially.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, okay. Is that right? Tenacity?
Tenacity.
Tenacity. Tenacity and determination are classic 8-3 trademarks. These are among their most admirable traits and best self. But something can happen when 8-3s become too committed to a goal, a mission, or a time frame they intend to accomplish it in. Impatience with anyone or anything that impedes them is first to emerge, followed by what seems like pushy behaviour to make things go their way. 8-3s in shadow use hidden manoeuvres to get what they want, or else they steamroll over people on their way to the goal. Both strategies are examples of shadow behaviour in action. So that's almost saying if something's impeding me, person or an object, I will do my best to remove that.
Yes.
And that's what I just said before, isn't it? Get rid of that negativity.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. 8-3s who won't take no for an answer, that's me, generally don't have great timing either. At the end of the day, it's usually their timetables and priorities that prevail. In spite of what may be going on for the people around them, 8-3s who must get results any way they can may not be highly considerate of others. Now, I suppose that's true in some ways. I'm actually quite punctual. If there's meetings, if there's something I've got to be at, if there's, I'm very focused of like, right, I've got to be there. I've committed. I'll be there, and I'll do what I've set out to do. But I will always look after number one. I'll always be, I couldn't give you an example, but if there's two scenarios where it benefits another or it benefits me, of course I'm going to want it to benefit me.
Yeah.
And that's my nature.
Yeah.
Always want myself to progress.
Yes.
Okay. Some people think 8-3s are too direct, speaking their mind too freely, especially if they disagree with another's position. In its proper place, candor can be a good thing, but if 8-3s take their straightforward behaviour to excess, it can cross the lines of good taste and hurts people's feelings. Yeah, I can relate to that. There is no question that the words that some 8-3s choose, the tone of their delivery and the timing of their statements could be constructed as unnecessarily blunt and lacking sufficient diplomacy. Although many 8-3s defend their no-nonsense style for its honesty and efficiency, when it misses the mark on compassion, it clearly moves into shadow behaviour. Now I can relate to that as well. Alright, it gets worse. 8-3s can be a little bullheaded about their positions, digging in their heels and refusing to yield from their points of view. Naturally headstrong, sometimes they seem to have blinders on, even when 8-3s allow an opposing argument to be put in front of them. Usually it's a really convincing one. You can be pretty certain that if they are in shadow, they will not back down, unaware of the frustration that their stubbornness can create. And then again, yeah, that's like arguing with the missus. I've got to get my point across. I don't care what damage it does, and that's me being stubborn. So I can relate to that. And I'm like that with people as well. No, I'm not just my wife. Right, last one. Tough and tender is a common 8-3 description, meaning that inside these strong and capable people who rarely back down and who take so many controversial positions and who can behave in such confrontational ways is a sensitive and generous heart, which unfortunately is not always apparent. This is especially difficult to see when 8-3s take competition to an unhealthy extreme. And that's true as well. Yeah, I never back down. And I do take controversial positions. And I do behave in controversial ways. But again, you know, I'm very generous. Yeah, and I'm very sensitive. You know, I'm very, very emotionally attached to my work, actually. You know, everything's got a reason.
And what some people find is that this version can be quite stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unnecessary even.
Yeah, unnecessary. Yeah. That's it. You almost step over a line. Yeah. Can you see the relevance of, when you read that version, just thinking about it now, can you see the relevance of when your two unconscious motivators are to be strong and self-reliant, to succeed and achieve, when you don't have those things, when you don't feel that, it kind of creates this version.
This kicks in.
Yeah.
To obtain that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an unconscious drive to
because things aren't going my way.
You try harder.
The potential shadow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like you step over a line. Now, if you do, it still gets the outcome. There's nothing wrong with the behaviour. Behind every behaviour, and an NLP presupposition is behind every behaviour, there is a positive intention. Yeah. It's just how productive is it in terms of your energy that you spend.
Well, it's not. I mean, it can be productive, but I think more reading this now, it's the way that you can portray yourself in a bad light, in a way. You know, it's reading some of these things, it just make you sit here and think, you know, I have acted that way in certain situations, and I've been a bit of a dick. But you know, now I've seen it sort of written down of.
It's like a mirror, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And again, it's like blueprinted in me to be that way.
Yeah, and that's fine. Tell me more about World's Strongest Man, about that context. Yeah, what's the relevance of? Can you go back in your memory to that moment, that specific competition where it really mattered that you dug in?
Yes, I mean, World's Strongest Man, 2017, that'd be, or in fact 2016 would probably be a better example, because in the day before the final started, I managed to rip the tendons off my middle finger, and that, I know for a fact, any other man on the planet would have packed his bags and fucked off home, but I didn't want that cloud over my head of walking away from a competition and being called a pussy. So that was me being very strong-minded, very strong-willed. And, I was out there alone, no family, no friends, and I just got on with it.
Yeah.
And I ploughed through the competition and came third.
Yeah.
Third strongest one on the planet, one-handed. And that for me was one of those moments for sure.
So I can hear the recognition of the succeeding and achieving.
Yeah.
The pride in that is what
Yes.
I'm looking for,
Definitely.
actually.
Yeah.
And the strength and the independence in, I was out there on my own doing it. I just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And when you kind of moving more into a kind of that version of you, and almost like how you experience that version of you, when you think about that version of you, how would you describe that person?
How would you describe that person?
Yeah, when you look at him in that moment.
Stubborn. Strong-minded.
Yeah.
Stubborn. I guess a man. I guess a man desperate for that acknowledgement, really.
Yeah.
Of all that hard work that he's put in for the entire year and wanted to showcase it.
Yeah. And if you can step into the shoes of the people watching him at that moment, how would they describe him?
I would say pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What was important to him back then?
All that was important really was that first place at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
What parts of you did you kind of bring with you and rely on in that moment?
What parts of me did I bring with me and rely on? The resilience, really, just the pure resilience of never giving up.
Yeah.
Just never backing down, back up your bullshit.
Yeah.
Saying you're going to do something and making sure that you follow through with it is something that, again, has been blueprinted on me for my entire life. I don't want to be that guy that said, I'm going to do something and then doesn't come anywhere near.
Yeah.
That's the dickhead of the world. And nobody wants to look like a dickhead.
Yeah, having that integrity almost.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What parts of you did you leave behind?
If you think back to my thought process when I was in that moment, it was like I didn't give a fuck about my health. Okay. I didn't really care about what happened to me. Yeah. It was all that really mattered was how good can I do in this competition? Yeah. And that was it. Yeah. So when the unproductive version of me starts coming out, these are trigger points, triggers to help reel it in.
These will send you there.
These will send me there. Okay. Too many rules and constraints getting in your way, yes. Feeling nitpicked or overmanaged, yes. Feeling undermined or made to look bad, yes. Incompetence or independability, yes. When your achievements and efforts aren't fully acknowledged or appreciated, yes. Not being kept informed of things, yes, I fucking hate that. Narrow-minded thinking, I hate that. Unjust situations, yes. Attempts by others to control you, manipulate you, or curtail your independence. Curtails your independence. Yeah, that's a big no. Low energy or slow moving people. Brian Shaw, you sloth. Fucking speed up. You piss me off. You fucking trigger me. But I think every single one there is a trigger point for me.
They should be
that
all.
Would piss me off.
Yeah. Some cross over other unconscious motivators. Mm-hmm. So people may relate to other ones if they've got different unconscious motivators. But for you, these will all bother either the strong and self-reliant or the succeed and achieve. Yeah. Yeah. Can you choose one of those now for me?
One?
Yeah. That's kind of most relevant, maybe. Most relevant to you, gets you.
It's got to be the low energy or slow moving people.
Okay, slow energy, slow moving people.
People that just yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, can you think back to the last time that happened?
Brian Shaw.
Oh.
You piece of shit. Enrage me every time I see you. Mm-hmm.
To serve that situation and yourself a bit better, if you were giving yourself some advice, what might that be?
I suppose the main one for me would be the patience.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does patience mean to you? How do you do that?
Well, it doesn't take much for me to walk away from a frustrating situation.
Okay, so walking away, give it some space.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would do normally.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, with being impatient.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blow up. I wouldn't, if somebody's not interested or doesn't want to hear or obviously
Don't
not
go
listening,
to
I'll just walk away.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just whatever. I'll block. I'll delete the number. Delete the email. Figure out my life. Done.
Okay.
Guys, I've learned a lot from today, and I didn't actually think I would, but no, Nicola's come and give me something to read through, and I will give this to the wife, and this will help me become a better person, career-wise and socially as well, definitely. So I've got a lot to take away, and I've definitely learned something today, that's for sure. So if any of you guys want to get in touch with Nicola, then what's your website? What's your email?
Nicola.
I'll put it on the link below.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's Nicola at Performance and Mastery. My business is Performance and Mastery. I believe that if you are a master of what you do, if you're a master of this and a master of this, then you will achieve your utmost performance. So Nicola at Performance and Mastery.co.uk.
Nicola at performanceandmastery.co.uk.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody's interested, please hit Nicola up, and that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Big love the beast. See you later.